Hey guys, it's me, and today I want to do a get ready with me / tutorial for you. It has been a long time since I've done one of these, so you'll have to excuse me. I am super clumsy today, and I also have a huge zit underneath my nose right on the top of my lip. But starting off, I'm going to grab my Pixi Glow Tonic, and I am going to use a makeup pad and just kind of rub that all over my face. And then I'm going to grab my Strivectin HD Advanced, I have no clue what it's called. It's something for wrinkles that I've been actually substituting my moisturizer for, and it's been great. It's helped with some of my fine lines, and it is super moisturizing without being overly oily. And then I'm going to grab my Becca Backlight Primer, which I have fallen in love with. I picked this up during the VIP Rouge sale last week, and it's just been amazing. And I'm just going to use a small little pump of that, and I'm going to apply it all over the outside of my face. I'm going to avoid putting it on my nose or above my lip or on the inside of my forehead, just because those are my oily spots, and I've been using my mattifying primer on those areas just to keep them from getting too oily throughout the day. Next, like I said, I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. This is the mattifying primer, and I'm going to apply that on my nose and basically just my T-zone and my chin, because again, it's going to help just keep those areas more matte throughout the day instead of becoming really oily, which those tend to do. Next, moving on to foundation, I'm going to grab my Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. I absolutely love this foundation. I'm going to just use a little bit on top of my brush. It is a Bare Minerals brush as well. I believe it's like a dual fiber brush, so it's kind of like a stippling brush, but it also has some softer fibers in it as well. And I'm going to use this and I'm just going to buff it into my face. I've had a lot of people ask me if you need this brush for this foundation, and honestly, it applies really well using it, but I think you could do a great application with a normal brush or your hands as well. So I do not think you need the brush, but if you have the money for it and you want to use it, I think it's a great option as well. After that, I'm going to grab my concealer. This is the Maybelline Mineral Concealer, and I use this underneath my eyes just to cover up some of my tiredness or my bagginess. I've really been liking this concealer. My friend Sam brought it back for me from Thailand, and I don't know if it's sold in the States, but it just looks really nice and natural, and it blends in really well. Then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and my translucent powder by Laura Mercier, and I'm going to apply that all over my face to set my concealer and my foundation. After that, I'm going to grab my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, I think it's called, bronzer, and also my Morphe brush. This is just a fluffy brush that's kind of tapered at the end, and I'm going to use that to do some soft contouring. And because I like to look like I'm tan and bronzed, I'm going to grab my Hourglass, I don't know what it's called, Ambient bronzing powder, and a big fluffy brush by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to go over the outsides of my face, on my neck, and then also on my forehead just lightly with all of that. It just kind of adds to the bronze look and kind of helps blend in my contour, because I'm not a huge fan of harsh lines when it comes to that, so this kind of just softens the lines. Moving on to my least favorite part of my face, my eyebrows, I'm going to use the Gerard Cosmetics Brow Bar to Go. This has been my go-to eyebrow product lately just because it matches my hair really, really well. And it is just basically like an eyeshadow powder. It's got a reddish brown and then a darker brown color. So I mix the two together and I use the little brush that comes with it. And I just try to attempt to make my eyebrows look as natural as possible while being defined. After that, I'm going to grab my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer and then also an angled eyeliner gel brush, an angled gel eyeliner brush, whatever they're called. Basically, it's just an angled brush that you would use with your gel eyeliner. Can I say that any more than I already have? Anyways, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use the Nars concealer underneath my eyebrow, and I'm just going to dab very lightly just a little bit of product under each eyebrow, and then I'm going to take my angled brush and then I'm just going to use that to kind of curve or carve out my eyebrow just to kind of highlight underneath what I've done to my eyebrows. It will bring it out more and make it look more bright underneath there, and then it will also make it look more defined. Moving on to eyeshadow primer, I'm using the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Potion, or whatever it's called, because you can never get too much anti-aging when it comes to the eye area. And this will just make sure that my eyeshadow stays longer throughout the day, that it won't crease, and it will bring out the color of each of the shadow a little bit more. Next for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using my new Viseart Neutral Matte Palette. I absolutely love this palette. I hauled this in one of my recent Sephora haul videos, and it's just so magical. I'm going to grab this kind of neutral beigey tan color and I'm going to put that all over my lid. It is easier to apply and blend in powder products over powder products, so that's why I like to do a base of kind of a neutral powder. Even though you won't be able to see it through the other shadows, it'll just help the other shadows go on easier on top of it and blend out easier as well. Then grabbing my MAC 217 brush and using this kind of burnt orange red kind of rust colored shadow, I'm going to use that on the outside V of my eye. So basically I'm going to blend it in towards my crease, or where my crease would be, and just kind of make a V shape in the outer V of my eye. Now I'm going to concentrate most of the pigment and the color in the outside corner of my eye while blending it inwards, but not bringing it all the way into the the inside of my eye. I really want to just keep the depth and the darkness of the shadow on the outside. Then I'm going to grab another clean 217 brush and dip it into this kind of taupey color. It's kind of a lighter taupe color, and I'm just going to build that on top of the burnt orange color while kind of bringing it up towards my eyebrow. Now this is going to act as kind of a transition color to kind of blend it into the upper eyebrow area. I don't want there to be a harsh line, so this is just kind of soften that without losing too much of the orange color. Now you don't have to use a MAC 217 brush. There are many dupes for this brush. I believe actually that the one that I just grabbed is actually a Morphe dupe for it. I could never tell them apart. That's how similar they are. You can find these on Amazon. I will leave links to all these products below, of course, but essentially you're just going to keep using that and just blend it in so that way there's no harsh lines from the burnt orange color. After that, I'm just going to deepen up the orange color again, since I lost a little bit of that putting that transition color in, and I'm just going to make that as dark as I feel like it should be. You don't have to go too dark here, but I really enjoy this color for fall, so I'm just going to make sure that there's a lot of depth there and that it just kind of transitions really nicely and is blended all really nicely over my monolidded eyes. Next, I'm going to grab my new shadow, which is the Urban Decay Shadow in Lounge, and this is kind of where this whole Get Ready With Me kind of revolved around. I had a lot of you guys ask me to do a Get Ready With Me using the shadow and do a tutorial, because you guys all really like this look in my haul videos, so that is why we are doing this, is because of this beautiful eyeshadow. Now this is going to be a duochrome shadow, so it turns from kind of a green color to a red to a purple. It's very beautiful. I'm applying it using a flat angled shade brush or shader brush, and this is by e.l.f. It was $1 from Target. These are my favorite flat shader brushes. They are amazing. I like to use the angled one because it fits really nicely on my mono lids, and I'm just going to use that and spread it all over the lid of my eye. Not all the way up. I'm going to stop where my crease would be if I had a crease. And I'm just going to concentrate that from the inside corner to the outside corner, putting most of the product again on the outside and building it up there. And since blending is super important, I'm going to go back with that taupey color and my transition color, and I'm going to go back and just kind of blend in all my lines just to make sure everything looks really even, really soft, and really blended, because you don't want harsh lines, especially if you have a monolid. It's just such a flat kind of surface that you want depth, but you don't want it to look scary. Then taking another flat shader brush from e.l.f., I'm going to dip that into the vanilla color. I like to use a matte highlighter if I'm going to use shimmer on my eyelids, because it gives it more definition, and also because too much shimmer does not look good on my flat monolidded eyes. So this kind of brightens up the eye without looking too stark white, and also blends in very nicely with the rest of the shadows. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm going to use my Kat Von D tattoo liner. I absolutely love this stuff. It's been a favorite of mine for the last 2 years, and I'm going to do a fairly dramatic winged cat eye eyeliner. I say fairly dramatic because you will see that I kind of keep going and going and going. It was one of those moments where I knew I should stop trying to fix my eyeliner, but I just couldn't, so it just got bigger and more dramatic and bigger as I went along trying to fix it. So we went for a fairly dramatic look today, and that's okay, because when we apply my lashes later, you will see that it kind of softens up the eyeliner and it doesn't look as dramatic as it does right here. If you want to see a more in-depth how-to of how I do eyeliner on my monolids, I do have a video on that, which I will link below, along with everything else that I've used today in the info box. After I'm happy with the way my eyeliner looks, I'm going to grab my Naked Basics palette, which has the best black in it, I think, for my eyelids. This is the color Crave, and I'm just going to set my eyeliner using a flat mini shader brush by EcoTools. And I like to set my eyeliner just because it helps it not crease, it helps it not transfer on the top of my lid because I do have monolids and it kind of tucks under when I open my eyes, and it helps my eyeliner stay longer throughout the day. Next, I'm going to move on to mascara, and I'm going to take my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and apply 1 to 2 to sometimes 3 coats of mascara on each of my eyelashes. But because I'm crazy, I do like to layer on a coat of the Kevyn Aucoin Essentials mascara. This stuff is amazing as well, and it just really, I don't know, the two together go really well with each other. So I like to do 1 or 2 layers on top of that. Next, moving on to blush, I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush. This brush is amazing. If you're looking for a affordable blush brush, this one is it. I am using the color Melba by MAC, and this just gives you a very nice flushed natural look. It's perfect color for when you do more of a dramatic eye. I don't like to do a strong cheek if I am doing a strong eye, which obviously I did today. So this one just kind of blends in really, really well without taking you too over the top. And then last but not least, for the cheeks, I'm going to take my Morphe highlighter fan brush and my Kevyn Aucoin, I have no clue. I think it's Aucoin highlighter. I think this is in Starlight or Star something. It's just a very pretty subtle pink highlighter. And I'm going to put that on the tops of my cheeks and then on my nose and above my lip. And then I'm going to grab some fake eyelashes, which I was not a huge fan of fake eyelashes for the longest time, but it was because I never found the right pair that fit really well and were comfortable, which I love the Ardell Demi Wispies in 120. They are super comfortable. They last a really long time. I've gotten about 5 to 6 wears out of this pair, and the elastic is wearing really, really well still. And they're just amazing. They look natural, they're comfortable, and I can wear them all day without feeling tired or without feeling like my eyelids are, weak or feeling droopy. They're just absolutely beautiful. And then while I wait for my eyelash glue to completely dry, I'm going to grab my Kat Von D lipstick, and this is in the color Cathedral. It's a beautiful fall color. It's very neutral. It's kind of one of those better than your own lips color, and I just really like how moisturizing this lipstick is. It's not drying at all, and it wears really, really well throughout the day. And then last but not least, I am going to take that dark brown that's in the Viseart palette with the flat mini shader brush, and I'm going to define the waterline underneath my eye, and I'm just going to lightly keep the color on the outside corner of my eye, working it in, making sure not to go all the way into the inside of my eye because I don't want to close off my eye. I want to give the illusion that my eyes are bigger than they really are, since I do have oval almond shaped eyes, and I'm just going to build that color up, kind of bringing it down a little bit past my bottom eyelashes, and it's just going to give my eyes a more defined look without being super harsh. And then once everything is done and I feel like I'm happy with everything looks, it's time to set everything in place because you don't want all of that hard work to just go away for nothing. So I'm going to grab my Skindinavia Bridal Setting Spray, which is amazing. It just kind of locks everything in place and kind of makes everything blend in a little bit more. And I'm going to spray that all over my face generously and then let it dry. So there you have it. There's my completed look. It is very easy. It is very fall. It is very out of my comfort zone, but I still love it. You only need 2 different shadow palettes for this, the Viseart and the Lounge color by Urban Decay. If you cannot afford the Viseart, Stila has a palette called the Mind palette, which is very similar and has 2 very similar colors that you could use instead of the Viseart ones, which are just as nice. But if you like videos like this, please make sure to give us a thumbs up and comment below and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks for the video suggestion, guys, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye!